Hello, and welcome to episode 69.
Nice.
There we go. Thank you. Of Spreading the Nerd.
Hi.
Being is that Clint is off doing whatever he's doing. Today I'm joined by, as usual, Nick. How we doing today, sir?
It's been an interesting week, man. I can't complain. A little weird being here without the parental guidance, as he's off. I don't know if he's still looking for the BBL or if he's trying to take over the cartel. You can never tell with him.
No, you cannot. And we are joined today by our baguette bro, Silking It. How are we doing today, sir?
Doing good. It's been like a slow week, like a Diablo 4 filled week, but trying to change the pace a bit this weekend.
You did say you finished the campaign to, what is it, Lord of Hatred? Is that the new one?
Yes. I finished Lord of Hatred. I played a bit of the war plans, the endgame activities with my warlock, and then started the paladin to see how it goes.
He's lapped me.
And
essentially lapped me.
It's level 70 or so. And...
So with warlock and paladin, how many classes are in Diablo 4 now?
6 or 7.
Did it launch with 5 or did it launch with 4? Oh God, Freight, you're kicked out of here.
Well, there's the warlock, the paladin, the spiritborn, the druid, the barbarian, the necromancer, and the sorcerer. So yes.
Okay, 7. Okay, I thought it launched with 5.
Yes.
Yeah,
No, they launched with 4. No,
oh really?
No, 5. They added spirit.
Could be 8.
Oh, yeah, that's 7. Unless
I don't know.
If it launched with 5 and they added 2, that would mean 7. So that's
I always forget about the spiritborn.
Yeah.
No, you included.
I think everybody does.
Said,
I really wanted the Spiritborn to be like the monk class.
Barbarian, Necromancer, Spiritborn.
Yeah, 8. Paladin, Barbarian.
So it's 8, okay.
Rogue. Oh, the Rogue. I forgot the Rogue.
Oh, okay, yeah, gotcha.
A lesser version of the Demon Hunter.
Yeah.
Well, that is
Less cool.
Effectively the most they have ever had in a Diablo, then, isn't it?
Maybe Diablo 2 now, because they added the Warlock to Diablo 2 also.
Yeah.
So... But it was the first one added since the launch of the game, wasn't it? They didn't add one prior to that, did they?
They added... What was it they added in expansion? We're talking a long time ago. Was it Necromancer that added in the expansion?
The Necromancer was there originally, I believe, in 2. I think 2 is where Necromancer was introduced. 3 is where they added the Necromancer.
Right, but there was a original, and then there was the expansion that added a couple classes.
Okay.
I want to say it was the Assassin, and we're going way back because we're talking like I was still in high school when it launched.
Diablo 2 has 7 classes.
Okay, so 4 has 1 more class then.
Yep.
Because 3, the only thing they added was Necromancer, I think, right?
Yeah, because they started with the Witch Doctor instead.
Right. But Necromancer, I think, was always the most popular class.
Yeah. So they seem to be 7 classes for each Diablo.
Gotcha.
Good time.
So I learned something. I as I mentioned in the Discord, I really have not played. I've not played 4 at all. I really played almost so little of 3 it doesn't even count. And I wasn't the biggest fan of 2. I kept trying it because it's the one everybody seems to think was their favorite, unless they really got into like the end game content of 3. But like if you don't take that into account, most people seem to prefer 2 the most. And I did not like. I love the original one, but. 2 did not quite do it for me. But
3 came out at a time when Panda ended up moving in with me, and he was kind of sleeping on my couch for a bit. And 3 came out on the Xbox, and you had couch co-op, and I'd get home from work, and we'd both jump on and play that for hours at a time.
Well, I also specifically remember it took about 2 years for anybody to really like 3.
Which is about the time it came out on console. After
I couldn't remember what the delay was.
That's the time it took them to get rid of the real money auction
Mhm.
house.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
It was one of the most egregious auction houses that with real money that we've seen.
I made some money.
To be honest with you, while we all talk about like No Man's Sky for good reason, Diablo 3 is another pretty good example of turning things around because that game was detested by the fan base for a long time. But it got to the point, and then they obviously ended up doing really, really well with their like the end game content that they kept adding, and that's what really kept it alive for what 10, 12 years now.
And they got really big on supporting with the seasons up until I think
Mhm.
the Spiritborn expansion was the last time they added a season to,
Mhm.
or they added significant content to it.
Mhm.
Times.
So I guess on that front, we'll jump into what we're playing. Freight, what you guys Silken had obviously mentioned Diablo. We can get back to that if you want to talk a little more about it. But what do you guys doing on Freight?
Diablo. I've been playing a bit of Diablo. I'm a decent ways through the story. I've been playing a lot. I've been enjoying it a lot. It is probably the first time I can remember where I'm actually like really paying attention to what's going on in a while, as far as like the cutscenes. Like I'm watching them all start to finish. I'm fully engaged. There's some really good characters that popped in that have been awesome. The voice acting's great. The music, and I don't know if it's just because the headset that I switched to, because SteelSeries has like a Diablo 4 equalizer setting. But oh my gosh, the sound is just hitting really good in this right now in Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred.
Did you
Other than
finish the
that,
main campaign and Vessel of Hatred's campaign too? Or no? I know you did
yes.
Silken, but okay.
Yep. I honestly can't tell you what really happened in Vessel of Hatred. I
Yeah,
checked
it's
out
not
pretty early and skipped a bunch of it because I was just like, I
really a
don't like
problem
this.
because you have a recap cinematic at the start of Lord of Hatred of the base game and the Vessel of Hatred. So.
Yep, which is nice. It was a nice little refresher because I'm like, oh wait, that's right, that happened, and it really ramps you up to get you ready to like just start getting in the campaign.
Now I assume by this point Diablo himself still is not in the game, right? Like he was in the original one and that was it, I believe, right?
It was in 2.
Oh, was he
it
in 2?
3? Was it 3? Maybe what we fought him.
3, yeah, no,
Okay.
3.
Yep.
2 was Ball or whatever his name was, right?
He was in the extension of 2. Ball.
Yeah,
And
you're right.
then
I'm sorry, you're right. It was
we had to go after Mephisto as well, didn't we? In that one,
I don't know.
man, it's so crazy. You know, they're just like so many.
But no, Diablo himself is not.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Yep.
Uh,
Other than that, it's been Vampire Crawlers still. I've got a run that I'm on a generational run right now. You could ask the guys. I was literally playing it till he said, all right, you guys ready to start? I put it down. Other than that, though.
You didn't play anything else?
Oh, yeah. Echoes of the End. This has been on me to try that.
What do we think about that one, Nick? Because I have some feelings on that one myself.
I would say, and
you don't have to be nice about it. Give your actual opinion.
Okay, so let me preface this, okay, into saying I don't necessarily want to crap on people's work because whatever, but it literally feels like someone got to 80% and said good enough. Like, or maybe even 90%, because what's the last 10%? It's that polish, it's the extreme detail, and it's lacking any of it. It's like they took all these things that they wanted to put in a game and said, this makes a good game, but they don't know why it makes it a good game. But they just know that good games do it. So they put it in there and then they just call it good enough. Right? There's moments where they it's almost like they want to go for the God of War, crevice crawler, a little bit of combat with some combos. Combat doesn't feel very punchy. It feels pretty light. It's very easy.
There's
kind of lifeless.
Actually, here's the funny part too. So Echoes of the End's combat has very little feeling of impact, right? Which is what you're just saying.
Yep.
It is so much more impactful than what it was at launch.
I couldn't
at launch, I'm telling you right now, it felt like you were cutting through paper.
Honestly,
there was no feeling of impact whatsoever.
The characters feel like they're ice skating too. Mm-hmm. Even it's like they want to be beautiful because it's Unreal Engine 5 and they get it looking pretty good, but then there's just the tiny little details that you just like the little touch up, like in the facial animations, like everything moves, but like not enough. So it just looks like dolls. I keep saying it looks like Barbie doll talking to me.
The animations themselves are just really, really lacking. They don't transition well at all. They're very stiff. They're very amateurish. Like, there are genuinely plenty of like indie, more like AA level. Obviously not like side scrollers, but like an indie game like that have better animations than Echoes of the End. And honestly, I guess technically it actually probably is categorized as an indie. I don't think it has a publisher, but I could be wrong about that.
It's honestly, it feels like it was phoned in. I truly believe it's lacking that passion, that unified vision that said, somebody looks at it and says, no, that's not good enough. Here, do this, little pieces that are missing there that only people who actually really care would want to go in and just finish up. Because other people just go, that's good enough. It looks good. Like if you just kind of look at it from a distance, you're looking over someone's shoulder, you go, kind of what's this? It looks kind of good, whatever. But then you actually stop to watch and see what's going on. You're like, it's not really that great.
Yeah, so I would say at launch, it came out, I think it was about July of last year, something like that. It was probably a 5, maybe. And I would say the enhanced edition, whatever they call it, took it up to a 6. Like it made it better.
6.
It made it better, but it's still really not a very good game.
The voice acting's phoned in even. Like your brother character is god awful.
Core, I think is his name.
Actively offensive. Like the best one that I've heard so far, who actually doesn't seem to be phoning it in. It's like he didn't get
the guy who's hanging out with her. Yeah.
Yes, he's the only one who like even your main character. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like
she's bad. She's bad.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's like if you take God of War 2018 or Ragnarok, and then take everything that's good about those and take them out, what you have left is Echoes of the End. Like and the sad part is, it's like honestly, there's probably something there that could have been a good game, but just the lack of experience, like they bit off well more than that team was capable of chewing, because it is their first team. Their first game, I mean.
And I don't necessarily want to shit on it per se and say that it feels like there's no passion, because granted, it's just a mission statement. You go to the developer's website, they talk about how they're passionate for these type of games and stuff, and I want to give them grace, but like, man, it's like you got God of War off from Temu.
And honestly, it's probably worse than that, because there's a couple games that I would say are Temu God of War that are probably better than Echoes of the End. And yeah, I mean, I'm not just dogging on them. It's like, hey, if people want to know our opinion, the developers' feelings don't really matter here. You kind of got to give your opinion. And the reality is that they're selling the product. When you sell, like if this was a mod that they released, like a total conversion mod for God of War 2018, it was released for free, that's a whole different story. That's not what this is. This is a retail product that deserves every bit of scrutiny to it. And if you like it, that's fine. You are more than welcome to. But if you're going to try to look at it critically, it's just not a good game. It's just really not.
But there is a part of me that's the same part of me that likes to watch awful, like B, maybe C movies, like straight to DVD.
Sure.
And I know they're awful, and you kind of enjoy it because it's just awful, and you can't help but laugh and enjoy like how bad it is. And there are moments where this game kind of tickles that itch a little bit.
Oh, fucking they go.
like literally, like the whole there are times where you catch it where you're not really supposed to see the facial animations when they're talking, because when you actually watch them, it is like the worst. Like
it's PS2 level. Yeah, it's like PS2.
Go back to 1980s and watch the old martial arts dub. Where the mouth is moving, like they talk and then the mouth starts moving, and they're done talking for a while now. It's like,
yeah, I pushed through maybe about half of it, and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. This game just kind of sucks, and I uninstalled it.
I'm about almost to chapter 4. It's not a long game, so that's working in its favor.
I think it's like 7 or 8 hours long.
I believe
I want to say I'm in like 6 or 7. I think there's like 11.
You gotta stop saying that, man.
Well, of all numbers to pick, they had to pick like the most freaking common ones.
But yeah,
you gotta remember, in my household, I have a 16-year-old, a 14-year-old, and now they've got my 4-year-old run around the house yelling it. So It's all day. And he thinks it's amazing to say constantly because the older kids laugh every time he does it.
I can't wait for another 2 months when it's never said again.
It's been a
there will have
while.
something else.
I know it has.
I learned about some really weird stuff the kids are saying nowadays. They're putting like the Kirk of Charlie Kirk name into words now.
Really?
Into
Yeah,
what?
like instead of saying like genuinely, they say Charlie Kirk or something like that.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
I hate the internet. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
That one's news to me. I have not seen that.
But hey, in their defense, remember our stupid "What's up" and all that other stupid stuff that.
Yeah, that came from a commercial. It wasn't just some random person.
Scary movie, actually. I swear.
Yes.
No,
movie.
No, it came from the beer commercials, and then it got put into Scary Movie from there.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it came from, was it Bud Light, I think?
Well, in France, it came with the movie because we don't.
Yeah, it was in the movie, but I'm just saying it was already a thing by the time that movie came out.
The only one I remember
in that movie,
the beer commercials back then was Budweiser with the frogs.
Yeah. I want to say this was after that. It was like just a bunch of guys who were friends, and they would call him on the phone. And that's where it came from.
Fair enough.
But I'll take that over 6-7 every day of the week. I'll tell you that much. Silking it. What else you got? Anything else you're playing?
Not really. I didn't touch even Vampire Crawlers this week because of Diablo. I was in the campaign. The campaign is really good. It's maybe the first time I didn't even skip voiced lines.
Yep.
I let them speak. The cinematics, the conclusion, because that's what they set out to do. Like, it's really a 3-act game. You have the base game, the setup of the Vessel of Hatred, and you have the conclusion of the Hatred saga.
So does it actually finish Diablo 4 story then, or do you think there'll be another expansion?
It finished, but
tough to say.
I think they are done with the story of Diablo. Well, what they were setting to tell, it's done. If I would be them, I would wait to add story on Diablo 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think that depends on like how long until they, like, if Diablo 5's not ready. I
don't know what this means, but I'm going to assume Ellery knows what they're referring to here. So
Lorath,
is
Herodrum.
Sid in the FF16, the voice actor.
I mean, there's a bunch of
gravelly voice. Sid.
Oh, well, actually, a better comparison would be that guy is actually from Game of Thrones, also.
Yes, also.
he was the guy that kept getting revived by the Lord of Light, right? Isn't that who he was? I think that's who he played.
Was it?
I think so.
Probably someone who dies anyway.
Yeah, just about everybody falls in that category.
Yeah, but I would agree, though, Silken. I mean, Sid from 16 is a far more recent reference, for sure.
Yeah. And one I was pretty sure you'd recognize at least the, the grain tone of voice.
If I would hear his voice within 5 seconds, or within 2 seconds, rather, I would know it's him, just because he does have a very distinct voice.
Yeah, he has a low, kind of gravelly voice.
Well, and very grovelly.
Yeah. Yep.
Between him and the voice actor of Mephisto, it's like, okay, keep talking.
Right?
Would I know Mephisto's voice actor or no?
Ooh, I don't even know his name.
Even if you say his name, I don't know if I would know it by that, but I might know, A lot of those people do every anime on the sun, under the sun and stuff like that, and then by extension games. So, yeah, I mean, in my front, not really a whole lot different to say than usual. I'm still pretty laser focused on Starfield, which really nothing to report there. Crimson Desert, which again nothing to report there except that I think, that most recent update had come out before last episode, so I was able to talk about it a little bit there. I did very briefly today try Saros or however you pronounce it. You know, I mean, again, we're talking very, very early things here, but I do like I like the aesthetic. I like it better than that of Returnal. I like the suits and stuff like that. That what are they called? Like Echelon 4, I think is their name. Where the main guy, Rahil Kulak or something like that. Like his character looks cool. I think he himself fits the look of a character in a universe like that pretty well, I think. So I think he was a good cast for that. And I couldn't help but notice, outside of the very orange thing because of the sun and all that, it does have a very, very like Aliens / H.R. Geiger aesthetic to it, which I did not pick up on like watching previews and stuff like that. But I'm running around, I'm like, yeah, this looks like it could be outside of the orange from all the sun and eclipse and all that stuff. It looks like it could be like an Aliens movie, like from a planet they're running around on, which I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. I don't like all the phallic stuff that Geiger does, but other than that, I do actually like his aesthetic. I like the whole, what do they call that, bio-organic or whatever it is. But yeah, too early to really pass much judgment there. Obviously, it's gotten very high reviews. I think I've seen largely people have said it might, you know, it's early in the year, but it could end up being a Game of the Year candidate when all is said and done. So,
How did you vibe with Returnal?
Not overly. I liked the gameplay loop. I didn't like the RNG, which obviously to an extent is still here.
The loop itself.
Well, yeah. I mentioned this. I was talking to Silken before you got here. I think I mentioned this on an episode before, but I can't remember. One thing that drove me nuts about Returnal was, so for example, I finished the first biome. I believe there's 6 in Returnal, if I'm not mistaken. What drove me crazy was after you kill the boss and get to the second biome or whatever, right? If you die, because let's not mince words, I mean, Returnal is a tough game. They're difficult by design. It's not like you could just revive and go back to the second biome. You have to go back through the first biome, but after you finish it, there is a teleporter in the first one. Like, obviously, you can't. I don't even think you can refight the boss. I might be wrong. Maybe you can, but what I don't like is the levels in Returnal are completely 100%, randomly generated. Where that teleporter is placed is also randomly generated. So you could get lucky and you walk through the door and the first thing you see is the teleporter, and okay, great. Or it could be the last room before the boss room and you have to play through the entire level again. And that drove me up the freaking wall. Now, obviously I've not gotten anywhere near far enough to say if that is or is not the case in Saros, but from what they said, it sounded like that is not. Like, it sounded like you can just jump back into whatever biome you were in. And this could be me misunderstanding, but some of the reviews that I read, it also did sound like the levels are more like, while they are still randomly generated, they're more like handcrafted with some random generation to them. So like you'll have the same general pathway, if you will, but room to room might be slightly different, which I like that so much better than Returnal, where it's like the game just randomly generates the entire, level you're running through. And I never really cared for that. But I always liked the feeling of the way that the shooting worked. I always liked, it kind of clicked playing Saros. I'm like, these almost are like a parallel to like Doom, right? You're almost going like arena to arena, which, and high, fast paced, lots of shit coming at you. Just whereas Doom is more about swapping, your large arsenal of weapons and stuff like that. This is about using your one weapon, but making do with your abilities and whatever your, pickups and, whatever like that are. And I'm like, but I do like it. Another thing, and again, very early, so I could be misreading this, but it also does seem like, so in Returnal, for example, there were, 6 or 7 different types of weapons. I forget the exact thing. And that obviously was completely randomized what you would get. In Saros, it seems like if you, what are you laughing about?
You said it again.
Nothing. No, it's okay.
I refuse to even acknowledge that shit anymore. I'm gonna be very clear. All right, so 7 or 8 weapons. Then let's say it that way. All right.
Yeah.
When you died in Returnal, you would restart with just whatever her pistol was called, right? It seems like in Saros, whatever you die carrying, you retain that weapon. Because I had picked up like an assault rifle or whatever they call it, and I did die on like a boss right before we started here. I noticed when I respawned in the the base or whatever, I still had that assault rifle. I did not have his handgun anymore. So I'm like, okay, that actually would be cool if you found a weapon you liked. But it's not like you can just stick with the same weapon because I did, for example, find another assault rifle when I was out there that had like different stats and stuff like that. So it does keep you. It almost has like a minor like looter shooter aspect to it on that front. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, again, very early. I'm not going to dig too far into it right now because I am still trying to focus on the other two, but pretty solid first impression.
Quick question: do they still use like the haptic of the?
They do, yes.
That was the highlight when I
you almost wanted to, like, even on PC. I assume on PC they probably did support the haptic
yes,
triggers.
they do.
Okay, yeah, you really do want to play it with a DualSense because you need that that trigger, that half trigger lock. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the right trigger is anything different other than when you go past the halfway point or whatever it fires. But on the left, a half pull rather does your alternate fire, whereas a full trigger pull does your I forget what it calls like your power ability or something like that, which is what if you've watched any previews or reviews or whatever, when you use your shield to absorb like the blue attack, that powers your power attack or whatever they call it. So but yes, that is still in it.
Cool. That's a nice because that's what really sold me on Returnal, because exclusive features they work on console.
Yeah, and actually, what's funny is if you remember when it came out, they were making a big deal about Ratchet and Clank, whatever the hell it was called, Rift Apart, using that. And the reality is, it did, but it really didn't, because if you did, I don't remember. So if you aimed, it still did the same thing as like a half pull of your trigger. But whereas Returnal did actually make genuine use of things were different depending on how much of a trigger pull you did. Yeah.
Two different attack.
Right.
PC.
I noticed it was fluctuating in volume. I just thought your headset was moving. So good call, Luke. If that was the issue, I didn't pick up on that. But Nick, anything else you're playing you want to talk about that's not Diablo or Vampire Crawl? Oh, sorry, you got something else? Go ahead.
Is it better? No, just
yes, much louder. Yes.
Okay, because it was in SteamYard, it was default, and it was saying it was my headset, but I switched it to my headset. Okay.
Yeah, much louder, much clearer now.
Can we talk about how annoying it is sometimes when games have especially when we're playing on PC, when you try to do like your input volume settings or whatever, and it just goes by default and they don't have actual settings in the freaking game itself.
Well, it's not exactly what you're saying here, but something that drives me nuts. Windows, if I plug in my DualSense to use it on whatever, Windows loves to occasionally just randomly switch to that microphone.
No, it doesn't randomly because it has a speaker. And
that's what I meant. Yeah. Like it wants to switch to that being the speaker, even if I have that speaker disabled. Windows loves to do that, and I'm like, Clutch, I'm going to blame you because you work for Microsoft. Get it fixed.
We need someone to
I pull up my list and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 13 different output sources that are listed at any given time. Yeah. It's real fun.
Well, I have 7 and I have just one headset and a pair of speakers, so I don't.
Right, I know. It creates some like 3 or 4 different ones, especially like the headsets when it switches it between game chat and party chat. And no, because I ran into that last week and I was playing Grounded with my buddies, and like I had the default mic set to my regular mic, but for whatever reason I don't know what it was pulling from, and I had to like restart my whole computer and just go because it doesn't have settings in it to actually change what your input settings are. And the whole time I'm talking to my console by just saying, got to get Discord or something. We can't just keep using game chat, man. Get it together.
Yeah. Discord. My dad's the same way. He and his friends, like when they play whatever racing game they're playing, they don't use Discord. I'm like, why?
I know.
Why? I think it makes it easier to do everything.
Yes.
Like if you don't want to use like the chat, the what do you call it, the forum aspect of it, I understand that. I'm like, but use that as your chat client.
Yeah, you don't even need to be in a server. You can just call someone.
Right.
Or even multiple people.
Yeah.
First world problems here. PC gamers.
I agree with Luke. Tell Mr. Microsoft to get this all fixed. So do you guys have anything else to talk about that you're playing now, or you guys?
No,
not now. More what I'm planning to play because.
Good. How about it?
Well, Returnal for once. Maybe a bit more Crimson Desert.
He's picking up Pragmata this weekend.
I mean,
he did say before we started he has surpassed the 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks after the episode. It will be 2 weeks, so I could. But no, Pragmata I'm going to wait for a sale. I don't need like a deep sale, I don't need 50 or 70%. But
I can see that
25
sale in June or so. I
like
can
18% off or 17 on Fanatical.
I need because the thing is with Quebec, I pay a 15% tax, so I need to at least have 20,
to get rid of the tax.
To feel like I have a discount. Remove the tax, give me a bit like 5-10% more,
So when you tell us that like when you convert Monopoly money to US money, you said it comes out to be about $100 right, when you buy something, or is that $100 Canadian?
Canadian.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying $100.
Is that the loonies or the toonies?
But I don't care about your money. It's from my money.
I get it. I get it. Even if you're using sticks and crayons, it's still your currency, so it doesn't matter.
If I put it in my cart right now, it's 80 before anything, and after tax, it's 92.
Oh wow!
Okay. Canadian dollars. So yeah, 92.
That is rough when some of them don't do the what you call it, the conversion to Canadian dollars. It just makes everything more expensive for you.
Come on, Google, give it to me.
I would say you're dead on clutch.
Well, it's not where he's from though. He's from a little bit further east than that. But
right. But
he lives northeast of Quebec now. Yes.
Yeah.
He lives in Quebec City, not Quebec. He lives in Quebec.
It's not too bad because converted back, the 92 CAD converted back in US dollar, it's 67.66.
So actually, it's a little bit cheaper.
I didn't make that up.
It's actually.
I swear, it's the exchange rate on Google.
You didn't even have to acknowledge it, just because this brain rotted.
Hey man, I have teens. Okay, that's
God. I hate this so much. I hate this.
I'm sorry. We were training a new person at work today, or one of my department heads were training a new person at work, and she was younger, and so we always like to do. My dairy manager is an older gentleman, so he always likes to do all the cringe stuff, and he ropes me into it. Like he did a half-ass gritty, and I couldn't follow him onto that, but then he started doing all the 6-7 jokes and stuff. And I was like, so it's fresh in my head between that and the kids, can't help it.
But yeah, so it's not too bad because is it a full price game for you, Pragmata?
Oh yeah, it's a
70
game. Mm-hmm.
So I pay with my taxes. I pay less than you.
Yeah, but that's until I got interrupted with someone's brain rot, joke. I actually
you guys keep bringing it up. I'm just saying.
No, we don't bring it up. We use it in normal discussion, and you started laughing about it. I was going to say, actually, yes, you're actually paying a couple dollars less even than we are. Yeah. And my copy actually costs a little bit more because I don't have it yet, so I can't show it. But I ordered I can't say our friend Sandeep because he doesn't even know who we are, but Sandeep did make a Pragmata manual, and I ordered it, so I will have that in it's coming from England, so I don't know, 2 weeks maybe. But it'll Clutch, get out of here! Damn it! I should have looked over. I just saw that. Anyway, it should be here in about 2 weeks, and then I will have a nice, illustrated, beautiful manual for my copy of Pragmata.
Nice.
And he is also making one. He announced today. Oh, he announced he was going to make one for Saros, but he had people pick the cover of it today. And I picked one that nobody else was picking, but I did say the one that everybody else seemed to be picking would be my second choice. So, so being as that there is not a whole lot newsworthy to be talking about lately, I had gone to the Discord and asked if anybody had any tech games, hobby, just nerd things in general, questions for us. We got one response. So I guess we'll answer that one. Thank you, Ellery, for being the only one to give us a question. But if anybody in the chat here has one, please put it in because I am looking for things to talk about today. But we will start with this. Ellery says, and I'm going to have a very boring answer on this, unfortunately, but what are your favorite non-video game games? I am just starting to get back into the Pokemon, the card game, and I recently came across Gaslands, which looks like it could be a lot of fun. Or then they said, I already have the ideas cooking for my vehicle builds. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to have to take your word for it. But I'll start with you, Nick, because I know you do play some board games and stuff like that, don't you?
Occasionally, yeah.
So I'll start with Nick because I generally have no idea if you do or not. So,
look, I'm from the Midwest, right? It's no secret.
Do they consider that Midwest? I would consider it right outside of it, but
what would you consider me then? The Great North?
Pretty much immediately west of you.
Okay. Euchre. Does that count? I love Euchre. You don't know Euchre? It's a card game. Yes.
No, I never heard of it.
Oh man. Okay. So
hold on, Luke. That's a good question. I'm actually glad you asked that. I definitely do want to discuss that. So I'm gonna put a pin in that because we are going to answer that.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Euchre is like a card game, so it's kind of like to go into it. It's a big thing in the UP, Lower Peninsula. I think Wisconsin plays it a decent amount. Usually get 4 people, and you have your partner sit across from you. You take out everything below 9, goes out. The 5s end up being your scorecards. First team to 10 points wins. You have your different suits, which are like, is going to be your main trump suit, essentially, whatever it is. So, and then whatever the trump is, it's usually the jack of that is the highest. The jack of the other, same color but different suit, is the second highest, and it's ace, king, blah blah blah. The whole goal is when you call it for whatever that suit is going to be when it's your turn, you have to take more hands than other people because you always have five cards. You got to take at least 3 of the 5 to get it score point. If you don't, the other team gets 2 points. And essentially, it's the highest card wins that round. But then there's a whole thing of like, if you throw down, let's say I throw down a heart and diamond's a spade. Now you could beat me with a diamond, but you got a heart, and I'm going to beat you with a heart. Doesn't matter. You got to pull the heart. You got to continue to play whatever I led with, unless you don't have it. Then you could beat it with like the trump. It's one of those more complicated. It's like an old man thing you play while you're camping with, maybe a couple drinks, whatever. Play for hours on end. That one and Cards Against Humanity is probably the other big one I play.
Yeah, I think we all know that one for sure.
Yeah.
Good one.
I guess for some reason the internet hates that game now. I'm like, okay, 5 years ago it was like all the rage, but maybe it's just Reddit being Reddit. I don't know.
Probably.
That is weird.
I mean,
yeah. If you're with friends that have a good sense of humor, it's good for a laugh. So that's all I care about.
I actually tried to get back into the Pokemon card game a couple of years ago, but at the time my kid wasn't quite ready to play it, and he didn't want to play it the regular way, and he, I don't know, made up some weird rules.
God help anybody who wants to play it now. I'll tell you that.
I know, right?
You have to fight with man children to.
Did you actually see that one of the stores makes you answer questions to a quiz before they allow you to buy it?
That's in Japan. That's in Japan.
I'm just saying though.
Yeah,
because you watch some of these shorts and these people, like, literally they open it up and just like people are just beating each other up for like
it's ridiculous.
Section of cards.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
yeah, like They ought to have somebody there just sprays these morons down with hoses, and then whatever they went to pick up, they give it to a kid so the kid can go buy it instead. That's what they should do.
Yep.
So, okay, what about you, sir? What do you got?
So if I want to go like for a quick game with from 2 to 5, 6 people, I go for Uno. It's always a good value.
Mhm.
Yep.
If I have a bit more time, and it's more like a late night with adults and drinks, a game of tarot. I don't know if you have.
What is it?
A tarot deck, with
Okay.
like you have the 52 cards and the 21 arcana.
But I'm not familiar with that
you
tower.
don't like draw cards to divine something. It's just a card game
Mm.
where you call you play with 5 people, and someone will call a suit, and you can but you don't know who's in your team, so it becomes 2 against 3 for the
Mhm.
scoring, but you don't really know. It's when you play your cards that at some point you kind of notice who's working with you
Mhm.
or against you,
Mhm.
and that's when you count that. Now after that you announce the teams and you do the count.
Mhm.
It's a bit complicated, but it's a fun game, kind of a bit of a mind game and
Mhm.
card game.
A mind game while drinking. That's
Yeah.
At first I thought you were gonna go with like King's Cup, and we're like Canadian version of King's Cup or something, but
No.
fair enough.
And more on the board games, I really like Span. Yeah, I don't know if you know, like they have a video game version of Wingspan,
Okay.
where your goal is like to have birds, but it's the same. It's from the same people that did the Wingspan, but with dragons. So it's
Nerdifying it, basically.
yeah, kind of. Yeah, they have a lot of dragons. They're all cute. They all have their cards and their personality, and it's good because it's not PvP. Each person has. You have your board, your strategy. Nobody can like mess with your game. It's just which one at the end will have made like the best choice with what you got.
Mhm.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
Usually in like a multiplayer, it's everybody working against
Yeah,
each other.
and it comes with a set of rules that you can play solo
That's cool.
against like the I don't remember how they call it, like the automata rule
Mhm.
set.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
you
actually,
end up like moving like 2 boards, but you're playing like against a
a
set of
neutral third party, more or less. Yeah, I
yeah.
gotcha. Yeah, on a similar front. So I don't play a ton of board games and stuff like that, but the one that I did play, and it's been a while since I've played it, which sucks because I spent a lot of money on it. I bought the entire set or whatever of maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. CD Projekt Red made and kickstarted a Witcher board game, and they had all these expansions and all this kind of crap for it. And I bought the whole friggin' thing, which was a lot of money. And we did play it a little bit. I'm like, and it was really cool. It's kind of complicated. I mean, it takes obviously a little while to see. That's the problem with when you buy a game like that. You have to figure it out yourself. It's not like you have somebody running it for you that you learn how to do it, and you can do it from there. You've got to figure out as you're going. And we did like the first set or whatever, which it did say was the one meant for like figuring it out because it had the most simplistic rule set. But we never really got past that. So we never got to like some of the more complex games. We never got to any of the expansions. Like the one expansion actually lets one person play as the Wild Hunt, so you get to be the villains. But I didn't know well enough how to play the game to be able to implement that part of it, which is unfortunate because there's even an expansion to use there. Now, also bear in mind, this is specifically The Witcher as it pertains to the game. While it is obviously all derived from the books, every design and all that stuff and what they do is specifically derived from Witcher 3 specifically. But one of the expansions for even the Wild Hunt game is the Naglfar, which is their spectral ship, which I guess is like some crazy thing to use in it. But there's all kind of like there was an expansion to add a whole bunch of different monsters, like the Leshen, which has always been my favorite Witcher monster, except for the one in the show, which was so stupid it was unbelievable. But you had said about the one that you were talking about having a single solo mode. This actually because this crushed all of its goals. It met. They kept adding stretch goals. That was how successful this was. And eventually, like, all right, we can't really add anything else. This is all it is. And one of the really high stretch goals actually was adding a like solo mode. And so it is there. I have all the boards for it. I haven't even tried looking to see how to do it though, because again, I was still trying to figure out the kind of the rules for the main game. But what I played, it actually was really cool. And like having read a couple of the earlier books, like that first one that we played, the way that it works is it gives you like how do you describe it? Like the scenario, and the scenario is specifically something from from the book, like whether one of the side missions, or I mean not side missions. I'm sorry, one of the stories, or a side mission from the games, or something like that. And the whole point is like each person puts in with like which of two options they want, and it kind of it progresses down a like almost a choose your own adventure style thing that way to see if you end up with the same end result as what happened in the game or book or whatever, or if you get a whole different one. It is actually really, really well done. It's really neat, but it is complicated. It takes a while to learn. Like it took us the first time we played it, we probably spent 3 hours learning how to do it. And then because there's a lot to it. I mean, you had to almost go step by step, be like, all right, are we doing this right? And then you think you are, but then 45 minutes later you do something that's like, oh, we did that wrong, so now we have to know that for the future and stuff like that. Yeah, well, it kind of is Red Beast, but unlike homework, you're choosing to do it. Yeah, so that's kind of all I really have to say there. Luke, I almost said Clint. Luke asked, the new Steam controller, what are our thoughts? He's excited by the idea of a new Star Fox game well, actually, we'll address this piece by piece. So, we'll start with you. What's your thoughts on the Steam controller? Interested?
Not really. I already, like, on my desk here, I have 4 controllers. I have, like, 3 more PS5 controller for my PlayStation. I have 2 for my Switch too. They look cool. They are probably really designed for the Steam machine.
They are.
Like you have the trackpads, like on your couch in front of your TV.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what they're designed for.
Yeah, but as a PC one, I don't need it. Really not.
Mm-hmm. Freight, what about you? I actually know the answer, but nobody else does. So
yeah,
glad I asked you the other day.
If I had the Steam machine, I'd be all about it. I like the idea of the trackpad behind it. $100. Look, I've got a GameSir G7 8K Pro, whatever, over there. I've got a 8-bit Doe Ultimate Wireless 2. There's a Razer Wolverine V3 Pro over here, and I still have another Elite Series 2, and I think in the cabinet back there's like an original Xbox controller. If I needed the trackpads, I do have a mouse and keyboard. Like I said, if I had the Steam machine, it might be a little different story. The only one nice thing I do really like in their design that I think by Steam unofficially endorsing it is that the 4 back buttons is superior to 2 back buttons and 2 extra bumpers. So maybe everybody switches their design to that, because that is a way better design, and some of these controllers need to get behind that. I'm literally calling out the GameSir. I hate that there's not 4 buttons in the back.
Yeah, I like
the Elite controller has 4 paddles. It doesn't.
Yeah,
have
it does.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so the Wolverine. Really? Because I
I grip it too much. Well, when I play with the controller, I play like
it has
lane, like
it
Dark Souls.
has a learning curve.
So
Well,
to
see,
not do that.
I
but
grip them, and then all of a sudden I'm doing something I don't want to.
you know, okay, here's what's crazy. I didn't get into it for like obviously it's very good for like hardcore shooters. Like you're playing Apex, you can do like you can jump and move around and reload all at the same time without like letting off on aiming. I know, but this is back when I was playing on console, okay? But the greatest thing was playing Destiny. You could still shoot your enemies while you're reviving. You know, and I had a lot of my clanmates in the raid were going down all the time, and so I had to pick a lot of people up. So I got a lot of use out of it.
Calling out
I actually
with back buttons.
well, they're not here to defend themselves. So you know what? And I actually got to the point where I didn't use the face buttons anymore. All I used was the back pedals, and I just assigned them to ABXY and just use up the sticks.
I'm not like eating on them. It's just I try them, and yeah, on how I grab my controller and how sometimes tense I get on it.
Over the years, I have gotten so used to using an Elite controller, I actually struggle to not have the back paddles. I got so used to using them because, with very rare exception, I would usually set the top two paddles to be left bumper and right bumper, so I never had to move my fingers off the triggers. And then I would switch with the other two paddles, were depending on the game. Like, okay, here's an example. Control. Control has a couple bizarrely mapped buttons, if you know. Like, for example, I'm trying to think. I haven't played Control in a while, so I'm trying to remember exactly how it was set up. You had to press like down on the D-pad to swap shoulders, but that you don't do that much. It wasn't a big deal. But in the case of Control, right? I would always have, I think it was my right lower paddle set to the B button because that's your dodge button. So I could do that while I was still adjusting my aiming. And the other one I would have set to Y or whatever button it was on Control that cycles between your two weapons, because then again I can do that while I'm keeping aiming. And it would change based on games. One actually specifically, so you all know, I played a shit ton of SnowRunner. With using the winch, I would constantly use that because then I never had to like take my thumb off the thumbstick ever. And don't get me wrong, it's not like you have to do it that way, but I got so used to it that there's a Control I could probably manage without the paddles, but I don't want to. SnowRunner, I don't think I could play it without the paddles because it became like such an integral part of how I controlled that game. But I do like the Steam controller. I am, since I'm an idiot, considering getting one. I have just as many as you guys said. I have two PS5 controllers sitting right in front of me. For my PC, for my PS5, I have 3 DualSenses. I have a regular 360 controller, mostly for Rocket League because that's an abuses things. Between my Xbox and my PC, I have 3 active Elite controllers, one of which I haven't touched. I have a DualSense Edge, which I haven't used in a while. And I have an entire closet of special controllers that I haven't taken out of the box yet. But nevertheless, I'm probably going to get this anyway because I evidently don't like having money. So, but I will say, I watched Digital Foundry's review on it because they kind of went in depth about kind of what it does nice. And I do like you mentioned the trackpad. What is nice is, I guess, specifically the way that this is only in Steam. This will not work for non-Steam games. Mm-hmm. Using Steam, you can use that trackpad as a like mouse cursor in addition to the controller. Now that sounds weird the way I'm saying it, but basically, I guess somehow Steam's API or whatever is set up so that if you're here's an example. Ollie Mack is who did it. He said he downloaded a mod for WoW that was allowed him to use it with a controller, and it worked great because by using those pads, the parts that he couldn't control with analog stick and buttons and triggers and all that stuff, he was able to use that to like move a mouse cursor around on screen while he was playing it and click when he needed to. So that made it that it actually controlled really well. And that's just a single example, but I'm like, okay, that actually is pretty handy now because it'll make it that if you have a game where you want to, for whatever reason, use a mouse cursor to go through your inventory or whatever, you can do it without having to take your hand off the controller now. So that is kind of cool. $100 is maybe a little steep, but this is kind of equivalent to a low-grade Elite controller, so it's not that bad on that front.
And
Right.
even without trackpads, it has like magnetic joysticks. Just for that, it's
Mhm.
like above a normal Xbox or PS5 controller. So
Mhm.
Right.
And that's what else I was going to say. I forget what it was. No, but anyway, so he also says he's excited about the new Star Fox in June, and he is now playing Metroid Dread, although I believe you're finished with it. Didn't you do the review already? And he said he can't believe you missed a game that good. Although, to be fair, Luke, it only came out a couple months ago. Anytime you guys have done that.
He did. I thought it was Metroid 4 as he did the review.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm thinking Prime 4, Metroid
Dread
Dread.
is like 2 years old. Or something.
Yeah. Dread's the 2D one. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right.
Yep.
Silken, what about you?
Well, Star Fox, we'll see. Like, I didn't have a N64, etc., so I never really like went into Star Fox when it was like at its prime. And as far as games so good, I should have played before, but I knew what I was missing, quote unquote. Last year I played Witcher 3 and the whole Mass Effect trilogy, so
And you still haven't played Bioshock.
I was just gonna say Bioshock's on that
So,
list, man.
I have plenty of games but that's games I know they are good.
Well,
I know I will like
to be
them.
clear, though, I think he's more talking about like a game that he didn't even acknowledge. And he realized after, like, whereas that those were good, he's never got around to them. So I think we're talking different things here.
Well, maybe if Red Dead Redemption 2 is good for me or not. But for now, we have 3 hours. I just did the prologue and
Got out of the mountains.
Yeah, I got out of the mountains. That's it.
I was an N64 kid. People hate the controller. At the time when I was a kid, I loved it. I was the kid that jumped off right at the bat and got the expansion pack. I loved Star Fox. It was so much. I remember first time playing it. I was actually at a buddy's house, and I used to go over there and stay the night. And that was when I did most that and Rampage. And just Star Fox was really, really good. I miss it. I really do. Though I don't have a Switch, so I don't. As much as I would really love to see it, I don't see myself picking it up and getting it. But I did get the expansion pack. Clutch, you needed it because it made Rogue Squadron that much better. You guys remember Star Wars Rogue? I still have the game guide for it somewhere.
You must be Rogue Squadron 3 because Rogue Squadron 2 was a launch title.
No,
I'm sorry.
Rogue Squadron.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking GameCube. That you're talking about N64.
No, I'm talking about the original Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
I still have the game guide somewhere over there in one of these boxes. That was my jam. I was a big Star Wars kid. That and Naboo Starfighter. Come on, guys. Come on. What are we doing here?
Remember back when we actually got space combat games? Why did that stop? That's so frustrating. Space combat games is fun.
Sometimes you have your Everspace 2, like from.
Well, Everspace 2 is kind of the exception. We actually finally got one again.
I mean, Star Citizen.
It's not a real
Star
game.
Citizen hasn't come out yet.
It's an alpha. Sorry, it's not even in beta.
It's a paid demo.
I know, right?
It's the most funded demo ever.
It is. It's also the most expensive demo ever.
As far as games that I missed that were really good, I would have to say, I don't know, some of the PlayStation games that I missed out on. Like the biggest one that was a surprise for me is nobody really had a lot of great things to say about Returnal. I think overall it didn't sell that well. Some people liked it, but
I don't know if that's true. I'm not saying it set the world on fire, but I think it sold pretty well.
Yeah, and each time I hear about it, it's from people saying it's the best game of the PS5. So
really, see, I hadn't heard that.
I definitely do not agree with that, but it is a well liked game.
I know when I jumped in Returnal, man, I was now. Granted, I'm the type of guy that I was really big into. Like the number one most played game on my Switch was actually Enter the Gungeon, and it really that bullet hell sensibilities was really there in Returnal, and that's what really stuck with me. It was a mixture of that, and it still had some of the whole idea of like I was just coming off from Remnant 2, and the whole idea of like rolling in for your iframes to dodge attacks, like that's big in Returnal as well. And it was clicking with me really hard, and I was loving it. So that I probably have to say Returnal.
There's a Gungeon 2 this year.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Actually, I mean, it's not exactly the same thing, but have you ever tried? Oh God, I forget the name. It's an indie, Silken, so you'll be happy here. Oh damn it, Hyper Light Drifter. Did you ever try that? Hyper Light Drifter is awesome.
I have not. No, I have it.
It's really good.
So it's
humble.
Okay, well, you know what it is. Do you know what it is or no? Because it's comparing it to Returnal is kind of ridiculous because it's not Returnal, but it's kind of that whole like dodging around to avoid shit kind of stuff because it gets pretty hectic.
Yeah,
that game is actually really good.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate that they went the direction they did with the follow up because
it's a really good like mix of melee and range combat.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's an isometric game, so 3/4 top down.
Right.
You charge your gun with your melee attacks, and then you use your gun from there. So it's actually pretty good. It's almost a combination of like a Diablo or a Bastion or something like that, right? Mixed with like a what do you call it? Like a twin stick shooter. So it's a pretty interesting combination that actually, and it has this very cool. I mean, it's pixel art, but specifically like it's not voxel because voxel would be like 3D. I don't know how to describe it, but it has a very distinct art style.
Yeah, the pixel like the pixel are like large, compared to a pixel art that you think of.
Right. Yeah, it's very distinct. Like when you see it, you would know immediately that's what it is.
And the color palette is just
it's very pink.
Yeah, pink and green.
Yes. So for me, I don't know. Maybe I liked Star Fox on the 64. I really didn't like any of the other ones. I didn't like the Super Nintendo one at all. The one on GameCube was atrocious, and I guess there was 2 on SNES, but the second one obviously didn't come out until the Super Nintendo Classic. I didn't really care for those ones, but I did like the one on the N64. So I don't know. I might be interested in it. I might not. I'm probably more interested in the supposed remake of Ocarina of Time. Is it Ocarina of Time? Is that what? Okay.
Yeah, that's doable.
Even though I'm not even the biggest fan of that game, I still might do that.
Not ready to do a barrel roll.
I am indeed not ready to do a barrel roll. And there is it is on the tip of my tongue, and I cannot think of what it is. There is definitely something that I missed, and when I went back to it, I was like, "Oh damn! I can't believe I missed out on this for so long." I guess immediately the first thing that comes to mind is I did not play the Divinity series until Divinity Original Sin was out. Divinity Original Sin 2 was out for a little while, and I went back and I was like, "Man, these games are freaking top-notch RPGs. Why did I not play these?" And my dad loved Original Sin, and he kept telling me how good it was, and I would just roll my eyes and ignore him because I was thinking of which one is it, Silken, that was like almost like an action RPG? Was that just regular Divinity, or was that?
It's a regular Divinity, like
that's what I thought he kept talking about. I'm like I can't believe he likes that. That's not even his type of game. They ended up looking into it. I'm like, oh wait, this is like a CRPG. What the hell? And then I ended up playing it. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I missed out on these. And that's finding out how good, especially 2 is when I was like, okay, I have all the confidence in the world now for Baldur's Gate 3, and obviously that confidence was well rewarded. Let's see. So I know we had another question. I believe it was
Clutch.
Yes, there it is. I found it. Well, technically he started with, "What's your favorite programming language?" But I'm not a coder, so I don't have one.
For the little I'm doing, it's not really worth talking about.
The only one I actually ever really learned was XHTML. Does that really count as programming language?
It does. I mean, you're not programming a game, but you'd be programming a website or whatever with it, right?
Nowadays, I program in DAX and in Power Apps.
But on to his real question. What's everyone's most anticipated games this year?
Clutch, I know.
So Silken, why don't we start with you on this? I started with Nick last time, so let's start with you here.
Most anticipated. Maybe Phantom Blade Zero.
Really?
Okay.
That is not the answer I expected to hear from you.
I'm trying to. I have a hard time this year to remember what games come out.
Well, the thing to
There are
remember is
too many,
there's
and
it's kind of slow, and then you hit like maybe August, and it gets insane from there. There's so much that like you almost forget it's all coming out this year.
because with the Blood of Dawnbreaker date we got this week,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I mean, yeah, it feels like a fall game, and you told me like, no, it's a bad time. There's way too many
Yeah.
games in September, and I was like, what game? And I just looked, and yeah, you have Phantom Blade Zero, Wolverine, Trails in the Sky second chapter, the remake coming out. So yeah, it's not like overcrowded, but there's still a lot.
It is for
He's
me.
looking pretty good too, to be honest.
Well,
with
there's Forza Horizon 6, but it's so soon that it's
say?
not.
Nick, I didn't hear you.
I said May's looking pretty
Gotcha.
stacked too.
I actually don't think there's too much for me in May. Not that I can think of off the top of my head, but I could be wrong. Maybe there's things, but yeah. Anything
Forza
else?
Horizon 6. You got Bond. You got the Yoshi game, right? And then you've got.
Okay. Well, you are right. You are right about Bond. I forgot about that.
Lego Batman. Like that's going to be a big one in my house, at least. My kid's super excited about that.
See, no, Lego Batman doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah,
Bond either.
His number one. Look, hold on. Let me see if I can pull up the hours for the amount of time that him and I have played the Lego Star Wars game.
Yeah,
and I told him there's one.
I always forget it's coming out. We don't have.
Well, everybody has because they haven't talked about it a lot, but they have verified it is still coming this year for sure.
But I have a lot of games. When they come out, I'll be very happy to see them and play them. But there's not like one that I'm checking my calendar like every.
Well, the super big one does not appeal to you, and that's kind of the big thing. But
fair enough.
So, well, for me, I mean, easily is Grand Theft Auto 6. I know that's not for you, and that's fine. For me, the big ones would be Grand Theft Auto 6 and Metro. Those are probably the two biggest ones. But as Red Beast mentioned, I love Remedy. So Control Resonant, even though it's not quite the direction I wanted for Control 2, I'm sure it's still going to be awesome. Probably Wolverine, even though I'm kind of tepid on that one. But it is Insomniac, who they've gone a little bit downhill, I think, but they're still a great developer. So I'm still pretty hyped for it. I know there's countless other things I'm forgetting, but those are the ones off the top of my head that are like big, like cannot wait for. And actually, there's something.
There's a lot like
there's something from Xbox, and it's not Fable, but there's something coming out this year that I'm.
Well, there's no Ghost at the Grand. Looks really fun.
Yeah, that's not for me.
Xbox. Well, Xbox has Gears EA, maybe.
Well, Gears. Although we don't know when, but I think Gears is what I was thinking of. I think you're right.
It's a maybe. We still don't have any date.
Yeah, and I don't think I don't. Well, you know what they. In June's showcase, whatever they call it, it is going to have a like 45-minute showing. So.
Yeah,
because it'll be like the showcase game or whatever they call it.
Like Nicholas Johnson said, Beast of Reincarnation. It falls in the game. I'll be happy when it's here. I'll probably play it like, if not day one, like week 1 or something. But I'm not like super hyped for it. I'm not like marking the date on my calendar. Right. I'm not taking vacation for it.
But actually, and I didn't mention it, but you did say it. Definitely Phantom Blade. I think Phantom Blade looks awesome.
Yeah,
so, but I did not mention it, and had you not said it, I would have even forgotten about it. So,
and in September,
yep. Nick, what about you? What you got?
Oh man, okay. So first of all, just a quick follow up on the hours. 12 hours in Rise of Skywalker. Between my son and I, that's how much time we put into Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga.
Oh, I was like, what does Rise of Skywalker have to do with anything?
We were talking about it. I said how much we played it. It's been like the. Now, granted, sometimes he forgets and leaves it on. Anyways,
yeah. Well, just to clarify on that, I'm not the biggest Lego guy, but I did like the Skywalker saga. I did actually like that one, but I'm not the biggest Lego Star Wars or Lego anything game wise guy. But yeah, sorry. Go
ahead. Gears Day,
Fable.
Valor Mortis is going to be another one that's really big on my list. Not
Isn't
a lot of people have been talking about.
That's the first-person Souls-like, isn't it?
Yes,
I didn't
That
think
looks
you liked
really
Souls
well.
games.
I do.
Oh, okay. I didn't think you did. That's why I was
Oh, yeah.
surprised.
No, he's playing
Look,
Bloodborne
man.
next
Look,
week. Next Monday he's
Well,
playing
but the
Bloodborne.
fact that you haven't yet played Bloodborne would also indicate that you're not that big of a Souls guy.
Okay, caveat that we just recently got that one working. Okay, but I mean,
It's been available for 10 years. What do you mean just recently? Not well. It runs like crap on PS4, but
for that you need the console that goes with it.
yes, I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yep. So there's that. Trying to think of what else, man. There's just so many good games coming out. There's probably Control Resonant, another one top of the list. That's
Be
gonna
careful,
really good.
there's a Bluey game coming out end of May.
I think it's already out, isn't it? Didn't it come out last week?
I don't know.
And then-
There's a Bluey's quest for the gold pen.
Okay, no, that's not the one I'm thinking of. There was one that just came out recently that I think was supposed to actually be pretty good.
But if I really had to like narrow it down, it's really tough because Gears Ide is way up there. You know, the return of Dom and Marcus. You know, that whole bromance has always been great. And then Fable. Those are probably my top two. Just because Fable was it's one of those games that always resonated with my play style.
You know what's on top of my list also?
Hmm.
The Gothic 1 remake.
You know what? I want to be hyped for that, but somehow they managed. I know it's a different team making it because I think Piranha Bytes is gone, aren't they?
Yeah.
The team remaking it managed to make it look just as janky as the original game. And I was like, it can have some jank, that's fine, but it's like, man, it still looks so cheesy, like so bad. But I know the story is like legendarily good, but I could not do the gameplay of Gothic. I wanted to like those, and I was like, I cannot play these.
Shout out from Baldwin.
I was about to say Baldwin just pointed out
Final Fantasy 14 expansion. Like it's the length of a full game, so you can count it.
No, when it comes to an RPG, an expansion is effectively a new game. Yeah.
You guys are killing me in the Discord, by the way. Keep talking about. Well, mainly it's Clint. I feel like Clint's like always on these like MMO trains. But...
Oh, I was like, Clint's been absent for 4 days. What are you talking about?
Always,
but like
between FF14 and
next.
WoW, so.
Well, yeah, he'll talk about anything except for Hollow Knight. Yeah.
Any excuse.
Yeah.
What's that?
Any excuse to not play.
Yeah, right. And actually, I had thought of something else when we were chatting. I forget what it was now. Yeah, no, there is. Oh well, we had mentioned the Blood of Dawnwalker, but we didn't actually say. But it's definitely. I pre-ordered the freaking collector's edition, so obviously I'm pretty hyped for it. That's a good collector's edition. In my defense, that is a good collector's edition.
It is.
What am I going to do with it? I don't know.
Wait. Where are you going to put it on the shelf behind you? I know. I was just going to say, where's it going back there?
That's what I just said. What am I going to do with it? I don't know. So something's going to have to get removed, but
it'll be put on Astrobot's lap.
Probably something up there somewhere. But that is a good one. It's not even just the statue, although obviously the statue is what all the cost is on it. But all the other shit, I'm like, man, that map looks awesome. And I assume it'll probably be similar to the map that came with like Witcher 3's Collector's Edition, which is wonderful. I have it hanging on the wall over here. But
I want them to talk about what they're going to put in the base game, because that's between Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk. Even their base games, they came with like...
Well, this is the CD Projekt Red, don't forget.
Yeah, you're right.
It's actually... But they actually have shown what comes with it. Well... I don't think there's anything special that comes in the standard edition.
Like
the deluxe edition, however, does have some stuff.
Okay.
The deluxe edition has, I think, I don't think
it literally looks like Vampire Witcher. So it's very hard to not think of it as CD Projekt Red.
Well, I guess the founder of Rebel Wolves was the director of Witcher 3, so that would explain why it looks so much like it.
That's why I need to catch more of like the reveal because I was at work, so I didn't watch the 45 minutes. But from the little I saw of the combat, I was like,
again,
you did want to see the
I suffered through the combat for Witcher 3 because the story and the good, etc.
The world is amazing.
I suffered through the combat. I don't like Witcher 3 combat.
No, I think most people would probably agree it's the weakest part of the game. I see what they're trying to go for with the combat in the Blood of Dawnwalker. And I like the idea they're going for. it does not look good. I am hoping that when you play it, it maybe plays better than it looks.
It feels better than it looks.
Because they didn't say it in this most recent one, the 45-minute one. They said it in the reveal one a few months ago. That their point with how they were trying to do it was they were trying to go with making it more feel like you were a sword fighter, like in a one-on-one battle, even if you have other things. But it does look kind of janky at the same time. So I get where you're coming from, because it looks like it might be the weakest part of it. And I'm like, come on, just get the combat at least okay. Get it to the point it's at least okay. But
yeah, because you're going to spend like 50 hours with it. So
yeah, after that, I think it was Push Square said that they did an interview or whatever with the director, and they did some like play tests or whatever with like the QA team or whatever. And the main quest was coming into around 55 to 70 hours for most people is what they were saying. And then obviously a bunch more for complete exploration and stuff. I see Nick Johnson said something here. Good pull on Me to the Hollow. Where I was talking with Silken about this, I think today, so might have been yesterday, I can't remember. I wish they'd have gone with more of like a Super Nintendo aesthetic. I love me some pixel art, but I don't want Nintendo NES pixel art. Don't go that far back. Go Super Nintendo or Genesis, because then you get detailed and really beautiful. But it is what it is. They're going. Actually, I guess Me to the Hollow is more of like a Game Boy. Almost.
It's more Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
It's kind of in between.
I have no idea what Coffee Talk Tokyo is.
It's the third installment in the Coffee Talk franchise now. It's a visual novel.
Oh, okay.
Where you talk to customers, you serve them coffee. Just a good time.
Gotcha. Well, if anybody else drops a question in there, we probably got time for about one more here before we wrap up. If anybody wants to ask anything, otherwise, don't have a whole lot else to really discuss.
No, I think that's it for me.
Yeah.
Other than I should say, people should definitely check out Daredevil season 2. It has been pretty freaking awesome. If you have Disney Plus subscription, if you liked the Netflix series, I would put Netflix series like some of the top Daredevil content out there. Season 2 actually beats it. Hot take.
Did they restart it, or did they continue it off of where the whatever the old one? It was at the CW. Is that where it was originally?
No, Netflix.
Oh, really? That was a Netflix show?
Daredevil was on. Yeah, it was Netflix. It was very, very, very.
I know. I know it was violent, but I. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was on TV.
It continues on off from that story.
Okay, so they didn't restart it.
It's kind of, they started to do like somewhat of a soft reboot, kind of, but not really, because they bring that into it, and then also some of the things that have happened with some of the characters and some of the other stuff.
I guess, to be fair, that's not completely unheard of for them, because that is more or less what they did with Star Wars Rebels, for example. Like, since they stopped, now they end up going back to it years later, but since they stopped Clone Wars before its final season, since it was being run on Cartoon Network, they didn't like wipe it from the slate. They just made Rebels and made it take place after, and then after the fact, they went back and did the final season of Clone Wars. So I guess it's not that out of the ordinary for them to do it that way.
I will say the first season is very slow, because it's a whole lot of more character study, on like the crisis of faith of your characters, between the transition of where Matt is in his life and some of the events that happen in the very beginning of the show, and then Kingpin almost trying to, the character that the person he's trying to be before. I would say the last 2 episodes is where it really picks up, and then season 2 is just hits the ground running, continues that story, and it's just top notch, absolutely top notch. Highly recommend people go watch it.
All right, well, Silken, anything else you wanted to add before we wrap up here?
Just a general thing that made me angry this week. Spiders, the studio closed, and we got a Nacon Connect next week.
Yeah, that is a strange decision.
But
I'd love to know where the decision to change. The hell's it called? The game just came out.
Greedfall.
Thank you. Greedfall 2's combat did Spiders themselves make that decision, or was that forced upon by Nacon? Because it was the wrong decision. I don't know why they thought that was a good decision.
I don't know, but I mean,
I like those. I like those
finance,
kind of combat systems, but it's like you just kind of threw it in with a whole bunch of other games. Now you really gave it more competition than it needed to have.
I'm more upset about the Nacon coming like a week after the closure.
Oh yeah, that's a bad luck.
Because the closure is finance. Their game are okay and they don't sell really well. At some point, you have to pay people.
Greedfall was the first one was the only one that ever was really all that successful from them.
Yeah, too. So, I mean, it probably makes sense at some point, even if it's sad for the people. At some point, you don't have a choice.
Where were they based out of? Do you know? I know Nacon is French, but where are
Spiders? I think the Spiders are French too.
Are they French also?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh shoot! Hey, don't forget.
Yeah, they're from Paris. Yeah, I did not know that.
So it's just the backlash from we're closing them, and then we have a showcase of everything else that's coming in.
I playing devil's advocate, not that I necessarily agree with this decision. To be clear, part of that does probably come to the fact that don't forget Nacon just recently was talking about not bankruptcy, but they were doing like
the Nacon stuff is not really like.
Well, isn't it? Their insolvency because like their parent company their parent company can't pay the bills.
Yeah,
so they were looking like they're.
I think Nacon is the parent company.
Yeah.
I thought no, there's somebody above them that couldn't pay their majority owner couldn't pay the bills. I swear.
I thought
and Nacon was like trying to say that they could stand without it.
Let's see. Nacon insolvency.
Subsidiaries, division, no.
Yeah, no. Nacon is the top,
the main publisher.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They were held by Big Ben Interactive,
Big Ben Group. Yep.
And it was one of their companies I thought that couldn't pay the bills. I swear.
They have 76. Yeah, so.
Yeah, Big Ben couldn't pay their bills.
Well, apparently, this says
because they're an asset.
What really killed them was how poorly Test Drive Unlimited Silver Crown was.
Yeah, sadly.
That was a total bust.
It's okay. We still have some great French studio putting games out. Last year we had Expedition 33. This year we have Mio.
There's tons of French studios.
This year we have Mio and Cairn. So
I didn't realize Cairn was from a French studio.
Yep. The Game Bakery is French.
Yeah, when I said to you, like, I can't believe a French studio. I don't know why I said that. Like, Ubisoft is French. Ubisoft is French. So like the French have always. Well, Ubisoft themselves are French, but they obviously have a billion different satellites.
The biggest game comes from Montreal.
Right.
Paris or Montreal. So.
Right. But
because when we try to make games outside of that, we have Skull and Bones. So.
Where was Skull and Bones? That was
Singapore.
That's what I was about to suggest. Yeah, and that's weird too because their Singapore studio is usually just a support studio. I don't think they almost ever.
Well, Skull and Bones went like around the world.
Yeah, it did. But all right, well, before we wrap up here, Nick, anything else you wanted to put out there?
I just quickly got an email, and it was something I completely forgot about. Just want to give a heads up, anybody who might be interested. We've got May 7th, there is the special look at Stranger Than Heaven.
Yes.
They're doing that little preview. I forgot all about that.
That is, if I remember correctly, that is the second Xbox, whatever they called them, like feature showcase or whatever. For the first one being Metro. I believe this one is also by Xbox.
It is. Yep. That's a game I totally forgot to add to.
Oh, yeah.
It's not even coming out this year, but
it's the one by RGG. Yep.
Yeah, not the Gang of. No,
right. That is by the original maker of Yakuza, who foolishly left and went to NetEase.
Yep. But other than that, yeah,
Sad
that's it.
story also.
Silking it. Anything else you wanted to throw out there?
No, we'll see. See, yeah. Because we now have a date. Subnautica 2 is finally
Oh
coming
yes.
in
Only for
early
PC
access.
though, right?
Yes.
Only for-
No,
yeah.
all of
And
them.
I love the both Subnautica.
I
and
thought I read it
Subnautica
was only
2.
PC.
Early
for now,
access was
for now,
everywhere.
for now.
I swear.
So just to give it to Crafton. Like I'm just going to buy the game just to mess with them. But I'm legitimately,
Yeah.
I'm excited for the game.
I actually, my
My
16-year-old,
jam. So
he told me that Subnautica 2 was like his most anticipated game this year. Like him and his friend love Subnautica, and that was like
Who's that?
their
I'm just
my son,
curious.
16-year-old son. It was just like, man, Subnautica
I'm just
2 is
curious
game.
in what state it's going to release. It's early access
Yeah.
with the trouble development. So
I mean, let's be honest though, survival builders always seem to go on early access, and they start
almost. They're
good.
a good target, like to get feedbacks and change stuff.
You got your cookie. My cookie
Right.
today, as you can see,
Panda Express.
Panda Express. That's right. I got Panda
You
Express
cheated,
over the weekend.
everybody.
I not
Cheated.
cheated. I still have an entire box in there. It's unopened. But I got Panda Express over the weekend, and I was like, well, I can just put this under the thing, and I can
He
use it on-
outsourced his
use it
fortune
on Friday.
cookies. That's what's up.
It'll have a real fortune now. Would you like to go first, or do you want me to go first?
All right, here we go.
I guess you want to go first.
No
Go
need
ahead.
to worry. You will always have everything that you need.
Well, there you go.
You have Bloodborne on your PC now, so you're good to go.
That's right. It plays everything.
Be your strongest advocate. I don't think I agree, but okay.
I mean, you have to be
Yeah.
most of the time.
Usually.
Right.
All right. Well, on that note, thank you everybody for tuning in. We had a pretty good crew out in there today, especially considering the fearless leader is not here today, and continuing his non-Hollow Knight things on an international scale now. But I believe he'll be back next week. I think he comes back over the weekend. So until then, we will see you guys then. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye, everybody. Good night.